Okay, I'm back again. This is RPG A Day 2023, day 20. This is what role-playing game will you still be playing in 20 years? Well, to be honest, I cannot imagine giving up the I cannot imagine that I wouldn't be playing some version of old. And when I say old D&D, I don't mean the original Greyhawk or White Box OD&D. I mean Moldvay, Mincer, that or OSR version of that. I can't imagine I wouldn't play that until I no longer play or until I drop dead or maybe finally retire for good. Right? I have retired twice before since coming back to the gaming community, and from 2010 on, I retired twice. One because I was busy and burned, and the other because I had some pretty sad event in my life that just led me to take a long break. To be honest, I don't know if I'll be around in 20 years, right? I've with this heart condition, I have a couple of other illnesses, and so my life expectancy is shorter than it probably I would like, right? I'd like to think I'll live forever, but we are not elves and an immortals in this world, so who knows? But if I'm going to answer this fairly, because I told Dell this before my break, and again, the break came because I had some family issues come up first, and then the break was extended because of my personal family issues, my wife's family, then my family, and then extended further because I had the medical event that put me in the ER. As I told Dell this before that break, there's really only one way I want to play now, and that is the style that we have honed and developed for Dark Age of Man. That doesn't mean we need to play Dark Age of Man. We can play this style or this way with all kinds of different game systems. The simpler the system, the easier it is to be a naive narrator, the easier it is to be a presenter. And I like to be in character, whether I'm playing D&D, whether I'm in a group and we're playing something even more complicated. There's a certain level of player activity that I like to have. I don't like to sit and listen and then be asked what I like to do, right? I like to be a motivated, I like to move, and I like to act, and I like to take action, and I like to drive my character's decisions. I like to drive my character's direction. And that's harder to do when you play in a traditional game where somebody reads you the box description of the room and then looks around and says, okay, guys, there you have it. There's the box description of the room. What do you want to do, right? Nah, I'm not about that, right? I haven't been about that since I was 10 years old, right? So I don't, even if it's guised in a different way, right? Okay, you're not reading the box description of a room to me. You're not reading the box description of a module to me, but you're ultimately delivering me the same information, regurgitated in your own words. But I only have really so many choices as a player. You've got an avatar, you've got a character sheet, you've got your dice, you've got a role in the party, and we'll ask you what you want to do when your time comes. When we come around the table, we'll ask you, what would you like to do, Jason? Bill, what would you like to do? Steve, what do you want to do? Not quite my style any longer, right? As you might say, I have matured beyond it, so to speak. And that means there aren't a lot of tables for me, right? There's not a lot of options for me. Mechanically, less and less. I grow less inclined. I was always inclined to simple. I was always inclined to comfortable, or something we could adjudicate on the fly very quickly, like an old D&D game where I can make some decisions. We all agree to roll the D6 here in this situation. Everybody's happy with that. We move on. Some GM fiat, etc. The more mechanical, the less inclined. When I don't want to depend on my character sheet to inform my role play. I don't want to use the mechanics on the character sheet to inform all play. I want to be a character, and I want what variables are on that to support the actions I take by the GM saying, well, that's a check, Jason, that's a whatever. Or you know what? I want it simple enough the GM can say, oh, I see, he's calling on God, so he's using spirit here. Oh, he's knuckling up to punch the bartender in the nose. That's a body check, or that's a combat check, right? For our game, very, very simple, right? There is no wondering when a player declares what they're doing and where they're going and why they're doing it, right? And then the challenge comes from the GM saying, well, let's make a luck check here. Is that true? Is the door unlocked going in? Or is this place as well lit as you seem to think it is? right? Or are there candles on the tables, or is there sconces on the wall, right? Well, let's make a luck check here. As you say, you reach for a torch. Let's roll to see if that torch is lit or not, right? Okay, so you can do that too, right, to interrupt the flow. But in 20 years, if I'm still gaming, I'm hoping that we have published finally Dark Age of Man. I'm hoping we have published Space Age of Man. I'm hoping we have published Noir of Man, right? I would like to think in 20 years, Dell and I will have published 3 or 4 different settings for our game system and our style of games, and that we would be happily running those and enjoying a different style of role play. There will be more people who will have embraced our style. There will be more GMs that will have embraced letting go of control and being a presenter and enjoying being in the seat, a hot seat, as also a player, right? Not the omniscient me versus you, right? More of the hot seat play style, right? So anyway, only time will tell, and that's what I'd like to think in 20 years I will be doing. So thank you. This has been Role Play Cafe. This is Role Play Cafe. This has been RPG A Day, day 20. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a wonderful week. Good day.